Daryl Leffler of Daryl Leffler's Academy of Music here, and I have a special guest today. Now, many of you are parents, and you know what it's like to motivate your children, to keep them excited about music. And so I have a special guest who wants to give some advice and give some stories, and that is my mom. So what made you decide to introduce music to me?
Because I love music and I come from a family of music and we like to sing around the piano, and I thought if he takes a piano lesson, then somebody will accompany us.
How old was I when you looked for my first music teacher?
Maybe I saw Daryl because Daryl would stand on the piano, step on the pedal and keep on playing and playing. I see that he's got a lot of interest in piano. And so I said, maybe this boy should take a piano lesson. So I started looking for a teacher, but I cannot find any because they said you have to be 7 years old to even start. So then I always combed the newspaper, and there was a teacher that put an ad that she teaches piano and she come to the home. I said, this will be perfect. And at that time, you were about maybe around 4 years old. And so she said, well, let me come and see him. And so she came with a little baby. She's a German lady, married to a serviceman. Husband is away, and so she's a piano accompanist for her mom, who's an opera singer. So she's very good in piano, and she's German. And so after I start talking, and she said to me, then I told her, nobody want to start him to have piano not till 7 years old. And she said to me, oh, let me see him. So he talked to you and he brought you to the piano. And then he asked you some things and he let you to play a little bit. And she said, Mrs. Leffler, your boy is very talented. I want to take him. And you were his first student. And because of that, all the neighborhood kids in Perry Street saw that she's teaching piano, and everybody's taking piano. That's her first group of kids from Milpitas.
How old was I when I had my first recital?
I think he was 5, and then I look at his book because, I took piano years ago and I could still read note, and my family loved Blue Danube, and so I gave him the Blue Danube book, and it's few pages, and I let Inge hear it, and I said to Inge, do you think he could play that? Oh yes, he can. And so you work on that, and that was your first piece on the Blue Danube by Johann Strauss.
Did you have to enforce a practice routine for me?
Always. I told him, your routine every day before you go to school, you eat your breakfast, and then I have a nanny at home that raised Daryl since he was 8 months old, watch you because she's completely deaf, but she know how to play piano, And so I said that after your breakfast, you sit down, eat your breakfast, but you play first before you go to school. Practice every day. And then you come home, you practice again before you play with your friends.
How old was I when you realized that music was going to be a significant part of my life?
Well, when Daryl was, every time I invite my friends and stuff like that, Daryl will always entertain us. I'll always show him up because he plays so good. And then some of my friends has children that are into piano also, but nobody would take them. And then being there was only, how old? 14 years old, I think. They'll start teaching. He just teach at home. And then at that time, I said, how much are we going to pay him? I think at that time, they were only paying Daryl $2.50 for half an hour. That was very cheap at the time. And from one family to another, his students are all Filipinos because I'm a member of the Filipino community. And then it took off from there. And then I saw that's what he wanted to do. And then just before graduation, his dad was asking him what he wanted to do. And he thought that music is not really a safe job. He said, Daryl, you have to get something solid. You cannot support family being a piano teacher. And my husband and I have an argument with it. I said to him, what do you know about music? I said to him, he always teaches, he makes money, he never worked anything else except teaching piano. He's making money, why not? And so I said, okay, because my husband would like him to be, because my husband is engineering, and he thought he'll go to that kind of field. But no, Daryl really loved music, and children really love Daryl, So that became in from the little studio at home. We moved him because I have a trickle garage. I made him a real studio that's closed where it's going to be in there. And I have a swimming pool at the back, and I have a waiting period over there. Pretty soon they have to wait to get a lesson to him. And then he give recital and stuff like that. And that's how the next thing I knew, he's not only teaching in Milpitas, he started teaching all over Santa Clara Valley. So that's it.
Thanks, Mom. Love you.